Hello, Mr. Dave. Thanks so much for coming in.
It's my pleasure. Thanks so much for meeting with me. I do appreciate it.
Of course. Did you have any trouble finding the office?
Nope. The directions on the website were great.
Good. Would you like some coffee or water before we begin?
No, thank you. I appreciate the offer, but I'm good to go.
Okay, perfect. How was your journey here today?
Yeah, it was really good. Thank you. I actually came last night before the interview just to make sure I knew exactly where to come. I got here early this morning just in case there was some traffic, sat in the car, and composed myself. So, it was a really good journey. Thank you for asking.
Okay, my name is Shayu. I will be doing the interview with you today. We're going to ask you a number of questions regarding your suitability for the role. So if you can start by telling me about yourself, that would be great.
Well, first of all, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to be interviewed for this position with your company today. My name is Dave, and I would describe myself as an industrious and motivated person who already has many of the skills and qualities needed for this role. Over the years, I have developed the ability to work well with others and collaborate closely with teammates to achieve common goals. I also have the academic background and the determination to add value in this position and contribute to your team quickly. I consider myself a high achiever, and in previous roles I have consistently received positive feedback from managers and supervisors because of my work ethic and my commitment to doing my best. If you hire me, you will get someone who always goes above and beyond what is expected. I embrace change. I enjoy learning new things, and I will work hard every day to make sure your company sees a positive return on its investment.
That's great, thank you. Could you tell us a little bit why you want to work here with us?
Yes, so I've been aware of your organization for many years. As you know, you are a market leader. You are innovative and you are creative. I believe from what I've seen, you always put your customers and clients first. You start with your customers and then you work backwards, which in my opinion will always mean that you are going to be successful. That is good for me because I am working in an organization that is constantly striving and moving forward. More importantly, you want to improve and develop. I'm the type of person who also wants to improve and develop. I don't just want to sit in a job and do the bare minimum. I want to excel and advance year on year. I'm also at the stage in my career where I see myself staying with the same organization for a long period of time. Because from what I understand during my research, you have very ambitious plans for the future, and I would like to be a part of those. Finally, I understand that you hire lots of talented and bright people. So again, that's good for me because I will get to work alongside some people who will push me and challenge me, and that's great for my long-term future career plans. So, those are the main reasons I see myself being here for a long period of time, and I will be able to grow as your company grows as well.
Thank you, Dave. What experience do you have which is relevant to this role?
Before I applied for the position, I downloaded a copy of the job description. I read it to make sure that I was confident I could meet the requirements of the role. Predominantly, the experience I have is, first and foremost, dealing with customers and clients. I'm very, very good at that. I have lots of experience. I used to do it on a daily basis in previous roles. So, if a client is demanding or they are difficult, I have the interpersonal skills and the communication skills to win them over and make sure that we provide them with a first-class service. I also have lots of experience working in a variety of different teams. So, you could say to me, Dave, we want you to go and work in a team. I may have never worked with those people before, but I will adapt. I will support the team members, and I will make sure that we all focus on achieving our objectives. Other experience I have is being able to plan and organize my work methodically. I am very good at working under pressure. I enjoy working under stressful situations, and that is because I always plan and organize my work meticulously, so I know what's coming. I look ahead, and I make sure that I can achieve my objectives. Other experience I have is also helping my managers and my supervisors to achieve their goals. Obviously, your manager and your supervisor are always under pressure. You know they have lots of commercial goals and objectives to achieve, and I understand that. So, I will work with my manager and my supervisor to help them achieve their objectives by being, basically, a high-performing employee and always putting the needs of the business first. So, just to summarize, having read the job description, I feel I have all of the necessary experience to not only get up and running quickly in the role, but to excel also.
Thank you. It's great to hear your comments there, especially about your experience working in a team. For this role, working as a team is pivotal. Can you explain to me what makes a great team in your opinion?
Sure, there are a number of different factors that all come together to make a team effective. The most important thing is that the team has a shared objective and a common goal. So, if I was working as part of a six-person team, for example, everyone in that team must be working towards the same end goal. You have to have a common objective that everyone in the team is signed up to. The team also has to be good at communicating, and I'm not just talking about speaking. You also have to be good at listening, too. For communication to be effective, you have to be a good listener. When you are working within a team, you also have to be supportive of other people. If someone is struggling in the team, you have to be prepared to say, "Right, let's help that person to get back up to speed." You also have to be totally driven towards the end goal. To achieve that, you have to have different skills and different qualities in the team. It would be no good having a team where everybody has the same skills as me. So the team needs to be diverse in order to be successful. If I had the responsibility, for example, to pick a team, I would make sure I chose people from different backgrounds, different skill sets, and different experiences. And finally, to be effective as a team, you have to be willing to take on board feedback. You have to constantly analyze your performance as you go along, review what you've done step by step, and be open about any improvements that can be made. That's important because for a team to be effective, it needs to be open to continually improving and developing.
Great, thank you. Can you give me an example of when you've worked as part of a team?
Yes, I have worked in many different teams in a variety of different settings. A recent example was whilst working on a project for a particularly demanding client. As a team, it was our responsibility to make sure we completed the project for the client on time and to the required specification. Now, partway through the project, the client kept changing the specification, but they wanted the time frame to stay exactly as it was. A couple of people in the team were getting a little bit frustrated with the client, but I said to them, "We need to make sure that we deliver for the client here. We want that client to come back to our business time and time again." So, I said, every time that client changes their mind, let's not make it an issue. Let's say, "Yes, we can work with you to solve this problem. We can change the specification and deliver it on time." So, everybody was on board. Each time the client came back to us and changed their mind, it wasn't a problem. We sat down, we regrouped, and we changed our direction. Sometimes people in the team had to do different things. For example, I had to take on a task that I wasn't particularly familiar with, but I went away, learned how to do it, came back, and carried out that task to the right standard. Thankfully, we completed the project on time. It was a great motivator for everyone in the team because, despite all of the challenges, we still managed to complete the project on time and to the required specification. I'm pleased to say that that client actually ended up coming back to the business no fewer than 5 times to use us on further occasions. So, it was a really good experience for everyone within the team.
Thank you for the answer, Dave. No problem. I did previously notice that you stated that you enjoyed working under pressure. With this in mind, can you tell me about a time when you completed a difficult task under pressure?
Yes, no problem. I'm used to working under pressure, and I actually really enjoy it. One particular situation springs to mind when my manager came into the office and said that a member of the team had gone off sick at short notice. Now, this member of the team was highly specialized in a particular area. They were really good at the work they carried out. My manager said he needed a volunteer to take on their work as well as their own. Being someone who enjoys working under pressure, I put my hand up and said, "Yep, no problem. I will take on their work." Now, I'll be honest with you. I didn't know how to carry out their particular tasks, but I wasn't afraid of the work that would come my way. So, what I did was go home and actually call the person who was off sick just to ask them for some advice about how they approached all of their tasks. When I went back to work the following morning, I sat down and I put a plan of action in place. I assessed my own tasks, then put the other person's tasks next to them, and I prioritized what I would need to do to get everything done. I had a plan of action. I then worked tirelessly to complete their tasks on time and also to get mine done too. To achieve that goal, I had to stay behind late a couple of nights for a couple of hours, but I was more than happy to do that. I got a lot out of that situation because I learned some skills that I hadn't previously managed to undertake. I was diversifying my skill range and improving my ability to work under pressure as well. So, it was a win-win situation for the organization because my manager got somebody to complete the task on time, and I learned something new.
Excellent, thank you. So, how would you deal with conflict with a coworker?
How would I deal with conflict with a coworker? I haven't experienced a huge amount of conflict with coworkers. However, if it does happen, I always try and resolve it straight away. I'm a strong believer that conflict can have a negative impact on a team. It can take away positive energy and deter from what you are actually trying to achieve. So, I'd resolve it as soon as possible. First and foremost, I would review my own performance and my actions to assess whether I was doing anything to cause the conflict. It's very easy for us as individuals to think, well, it's nothing to do with me. It's the other person. But I think it's important to look at how you perform yourself. I would then speak to the other person in private, and I would use an open style of communication. I would be positive and say to them, look, I can feel that there's conflict between us. I'm keen to sort this out. Am I doing anything that is either irritating you or contributing to the conflict? I can then gain some information that will give me the power to try and resolve the situation. I would then suggest an amicable way forward for the pair of us to work harmoniously so we can achieve our common goals. I would open dialogue with the colleague and try and resolve it straight away. Of course, if there was a situation where the conflict was too ingrained and it was too difficult, I would seek advice from my manager and supervisor to try and find a suitable way forward. But above all, I would try and resolve it quickly and amicably.
Thank you for your answer, Dave. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years from now, I genuinely see myself still working for your organization. Now, of course, I would say that, but my career progression planning is with your organization. I want to work here for the reasons that I stated previously. I'm also at the point in my career where I want to stay working for the same organization. That's important. You have ambitious plans for the future, and I want to still be working here, either in the same role or perhaps having gained advancement, if you deem me suitable to do so, to a higher level. However, in 5 years' time, primarily, I want to be really good in my work. I want to be a high-performing achiever. I want you to be happy with my work and see me as a respected member of the organization, someone you can trust, and someone who is also loyal. I would also see myself obviously experienced in 5 years' time, and somebody who could perhaps help train up other new members of the organization and when they join, basically sharing my experience with them.
Thank you. So, how would you handle stress and pressure in this role?
I prefer to work under stress and pressure. I really enjoy it when I'm up against time or I'm working as part of a team to get a difficult task done within a set time frame. I believe I am at my best, but I handle stress and pressure by, first and foremost, making sure I'm fully organized in my work. If I know what I need to do during each day and each week, then whenever stressful situations come along, it's far easier to deal with them. I also handle stress and pressure by remaining calm in every situation. If things are going wrong, the only way that you can get through them is by having a clear mind. So, you have to communicate clearly, you have to be calm and composed, and you also have to have a positive mindset. The only way that you can get through stressful situations is if you are positive and you work together. Draw on other people's experiences as part of your team, and then you can achieve anything you want to.
Thank you. Dave, can you tell me about a time where you provided excellent customer service?
Yes, I am used to providing excellent customer service, and I fully appreciate that for your business to be successful, you need happy customers. So, it would be my responsibility to always provide a great service. One particular situation springs to mind where I received a call from an elderly customer. They wanted to place an order on our website, but they were worried about how to do it. They didn't know which product to order, and they were also concerned about making a payment online for security reasons. Now, I had set timelines that I had to deal with customers, and that timeline was 2 minutes. I had to get the call finished within 2 minutes. I saw this as a different situation where I needed to take my time and reassure the customer. So I was prepared to spend longer on the call to deal with them. I started off by speaking to them in a positive manner, reassuring them, and building up a little bit of a connection to make them feel comfortable. I then started exploring what type of product they needed, so I was assessing their needs. Once we established which product they wanted, I then started to reassure them about the online buying process. I explained how secure our website was, the fact it was a secure server, and their credit card details were not actually shared with our organization. Once I built up their trust and their confidence, I then took the payment over the phone, went through with them in step-by-step detail, and then sent them a receipt by email. Once we had finished, I called them back 2 days later to make sure they had received the product, which they had. I just wanted to make sure that they were fully happy. I'm pleased to say that customer, even though that was the first time they'd ordered from our company, went on to use us many times in the future. I believe the call took about 7 minutes in total, which was 5 minutes longer than it normally should do, but it was great because I managed to win a long-serving customer of ours.
Excellent, thank you. Can you describe to us your strength?
Yes, my strengths are primarily the fact that I am a fast learner. So, if you give me the job, I will learn this role really quickly. That would be my aim, to get up and running in super fast time. I would spend time in my own time in the evenings learning the role because it would be my aim to get up and running quickly. I want to be a high-performing member of my team. Other strengths are my ability to work as part of a team and to motivate other people as well. I think I'm good to be around. You know, I'm very positive in nature. I have a positive mindset, and I believe that you only get out of life what you are prepared to put in. I think that would rub off on other people also. Other strengths include my ability, as I've said before, to remain calm under pressure. So, if things are going wrong, I can be a trusted member of the team, and I will help everyone to get to the point where we are achieving things within time and to the right standard. I think I'm a good communicator as well, so when I'm dealing with your clients and your customers, I will always act as a positive role model. You have my word that I will put your commercial interests above everything else. Finally, another strength of mine is that I can be left alone to do a job to the right standard, but you can also leave me to make sure that I keep my knowledge and my expertise up to date. I take my personal and professional development seriously, and I will always make sure that my knowledge and my expertise are right at the top of where they should be.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you for the answer. What's your biggest weakness?
My biggest weakness, I believe, is that I find it very difficult at times to say no to people. Now, in the past, this has resulted in me taking on sometimes too much work. As hopefully I've shown you today, I will always be the first person to put my hand up. That sometimes in the past has resulted in me taking on so much that I've become a little bit overwhelmed at times, where I think I'm going to struggle to get that done, and I end up working many hours in the evening sometimes just to make sure it's done on time. Obviously, that's not good for my own mental health and my concentration skills. So, I need to make sure that I do say no when I am absolutely at full capacity. Having said that, another one of my strengths is the fact that I'm always looking at myself to improve. So, if you see anything about me that you think I could improve on, tell me and I'll go away and I will sort it out and improve in that area.
Excellent, thank you. So I'd be interested to know, why did you leave your last job?
Why did I leave my last job? My last job was brilliant up until a point. The length of time I stayed there, it was fantastic. I was learning and I was growing along with the organization. I then got to a point where I felt I wasn't personally growing and developing in the position. I basically reached my potential and I wanted a fresh and new challenge. Now, the organization was amazing. I still get on with them. You know, I had a really good relationship with them, and I'm very grateful for the experiences that I had whilst I was there. They gave me a lot, and in return, I gave them a lot too. But it was the right time for me to move on, and I left on really good terms. As I say, I still have a really good relationship with the organization and my previous manager. So, the main reason I left was because I was ready for a new challenge, and I wanted to go and work for a different company and gain some new experiences as well.
Okay, thank you. Why should we hire you?
I believe you should hire me because not only do I have the experience and the skills and qualities that are a match for the job description, the experience I have gained means that I will get up and running in this role very quickly. That means you can leave me to get on with things, which reduces the pressure on you, because obviously you are busy and you are under pressure to achieve your objectives, and the last thing you need to be doing is to be watching me all of the time. I am a fast learner. I'm also very good working around people, and I understand the benefits of working in a diverse team. I feel that I am a good motivator, so I can get other people to feel motivated about their work as well. I'm also very good with customers. One of my strengths is being patient with customers, dealing with them methodically, and making them feel comfortable. And as I said at the start of the interview, I understand that for your business to be successful, You need customers and clients to come back time and time again. So, I would say one of my strengths is the fact that I'm commercially aware, I'm commercially astute, and I understand that I need to do my job to the right standard in order for you to be successful. Another strength is that I am loyal, I am honest, and I always act with integrity. So, I will represent your brand and your company in a positive manner always.
So, what are your salary expectations for this role?
Prior to coming to the interview today, I carried out a little bit of research to find out the average salary for this position within the industry. Now, the average salary was between $40,000 and $50,000. Now, idealistically, I would like the $50,000 mark. However, I understand you don't know me. I'm coming into your organization, you are trusting me to do a good job, and therefore I feel I have a responsibility to prove to you my worth. On that basis, I would be happy with a salary of $50,000, and I believe then I have a duty and responsibility to prove to you that I am worth that amount, and I would be comfortable with that position.
Well, we've reached the end of the interview now, Dave. So, only really one last question to ask, really. Have you got any questions for us?
Thank you very much. I've really enjoyed the process. I'll just have a couple of questions if that's okay. As I said previously, I plan to stay with the company for a long period of time if I'm successful, and I'm interested to hear, what plans do you have for the business over the next 5 to 10 years? What advice would you give to the successful candidate who wants to excel in their work?
I appreciate your long-term mindset. Over the next decade, our primary focus is expanding our digital presence and diversifying our service offerings to reach a more global audience. It's a period of high growth, which brings plenty of opportunity. As for advice, I'd say the person who excels here is someone who takes extreme ownership of their projects. If you stay adaptable and maintain a high standard for the quality of your work, you'll find that there are no limits to how far you can grow with us. Thank you, Mr. Dave, for having you today.
You're welcome, Ms. Shayu. I've been looking forward to this. My pleasure to be interviewed. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Dave. I'll be passing my notes along to our hiring manager today. Someone from HR team will reach out to you regarding the next round of interviews shortly.
Thank you for the information. I've really enjoyed our conversation and learning more about the team. I'll keep an eye out for that update from HR. Have a wonderful afternoon, Ms. Shayu.
Thank you, Dave. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Goodbye.